Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are covering a dramatic and rapidly unfolding situation in the Middle East, a special edition update focused on Israel in the wider region as tensions have erupted into open and direct confrontation. What began as rising hostilities has now escalated into a coordinated and large-scale military campaign involving both Israel and the United States against Iran, marking one of the most consequential developments in recent regional history. We are now more than 30 hours into what officials describe as a synchronized and strategic assault targeting key elements of the Islamic Republic's leadership and military infrastructure. According to official confirmations from Tehran, Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, was killed in an Israeli airstrike on Tehran at the very opening of the offensive. This announcement has sent shockwaves throughout the region and across the globe, fundamentally altering the political landscape of Iran and triggering immediate retaliation. In response to the strike, Iran launched multiple waves of ballistic missiles toward Israel. Air raid sirens echoed across major cities as millions of civilians rushed into shelters. Israeli air defense systems were activated repeatedly, intercepting many incoming threats in the skies above. However, despite interceptions, several missiles made impact in populated areas, leading to casualties and widespread damage. Cities including Tel Aviv experienced direct strikes overnight. In one location, 8 people were reported killed at an impact site, with dozens more injured. In Tel Aviv, one woman lost her life in a strike that occurred during the night, and many others were wounded. Emergency services, search and rescue teams, and medical personnel have been working continuously at impact zones, attempting to locate survivors and provide urgent treatment. The situation remains fluid and highly dangerous, with additional sirens sounding throughout the day as new barrages were detected. A nationwide state of emergency has been declared across Israel. Airspace has been closed, commercial flights suspended, and tens of thousands of reservists have been called up to active duty. Military units have been mobilized across multiple fronts, and the country is officially at war. Civil defense instructions urge residents to remain near shelters and avoid unnecessary travel as authorities prepare for escalation. Israeli officials have stated that since the start of the operation, hundreds of targets inside Iran have been struck. These reportedly include senior regime figures, military commanders, strategic intelligence installations, and components of Iran's missile and nuclear infrastructure. The scope and precision of the operation suggest months, if not years, of preparation and intelligence gathering. Shortly after the offensive began, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed the nation, stating that the operation, codenamed Lion's Roar, was launched to remove what he described as an existential threat to the state of Israel. He framed the campaign not only as a defensive necessity, but also as an effort to reshape the regional balance of power and potentially open the door to a different future for the Iranian people. From Washington, U.S. President Donald Trump confirmed that the United States had initiated major combat operations alongside Israel. In a forceful address, he declared the intention to dismantle Iran's missile industry and eliminate its naval capabilities. He also issued a direct appeal to members of Iran's military and security forces, urging them to lay down their weapons and promising immunity if they complied, while warning of severe consequences if they resisted. In his remarks directed at the Iranian public, President Trump characterized the moment as historic, suggesting that it could represent a rare opportunity for political transformation. He advised civilians to remain sheltered due to ongoing bombardments and emphasized that the coming days would be critical. These statements, strong in tone and sweeping in implication, underscore the scale of ambition behind the operation and the uncertainty surrounding its ultimate outcome. Iranian officials have declared a 40-day mourning period following the confirmed death of Ali Khamenei. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has vowed revenge, promising that the response will be decisive and painful. State media outlets within Iran have broadcast images of large gatherings and official ceremonies, while senior commanders have issued statements warning of expanded retaliation.
Reports indicate that Israeli and U.S. forces waited for a rare opportunity to target the supreme leader and his top advisors at a secure compound in Tehran. According to those accounts, approximately 30 bombs were dropped on the location in a broad daylight strike. If accurate, the operation represents one of the most daring and high-profile targeted attacks in modern Middle Eastern history. The death of a leader who ruled Iran for more than 3 decades marks a turning point not only for Iran but for the entire region. For 36 years, Ali Khamenei was the central authority in Iran's political and religious system, shaping foreign policy, military doctrine, and the country's posture toward Israel and the United States. His leadership defined an era characterized by deep hostility toward both nations, support for allied militias across the region, and an expansive missile program. Inside Israel, daily life has been profoundly disrupted. Schools remain closed, public gatherings are restricted, and critical infrastructure is under heightened protection. Families are spending extended periods in shelters, and businesses have suspended operations in affected areas. The sense of uncertainty is palpable, with citizens monitoring updates around the clock. International reactions have begun to emerge, though many governments are urging restraint and calling for de-escalation. Global markets have responded with volatility, particularly in the energy sector, as investors weigh the possibility of broader regional conflict. Shipping routes, oil production, and strategic waterways could all be impacted depending on how the confrontation evolves. The involvement of the United States adds another dimension to the conflict. American military assets in the region have reportedly been placed on high alert, and additional forces may be deployed to protect Allied interests. The scale of operations suggests coordination at the highest levels of defense and intelligence agencies. At the same time, the humanitarian implications are significant. Civilian populations in both Israel and Iran face heightened risk. Infrastructure damage, potential power outages, and disruptions to medical services could intensify if hostilities continue. Aid organizations are preparing contingency plans should displacement or cross-border refugee flows occur. For now, the situation remains dynamic and unpredictable. Both sides have signaled determination and resolve, leaving open the question of whether the conflict will remain limited to targeted strikes or expand into a wider regional war. Military analysts are closely watching for signs of additional actors entering the conflict or for shifts in strategic objectives. As we continue to follow this developing story, it is important to recognize that information is evolving rapidly. Official statements, independent reports, and on-the-ground developments may alter the picture in the coming hours and days. What is clear is that the events unfolding represent a historic and potentially transformative moment for the Middle East. The coming period will likely be defined by heightened tension, diplomatic maneuvering, and further military activity. Citizens across the region are bracing for uncertainty, while world leaders weigh their responses. The balance between deterrence and escalation will shape what happens next. We will continue monitoring updates as they emerge, focusing on verified information and the broader implications of this confrontation. The safety of civilians, the stability of the region, and the risk of wider war remain central concerns as events unfold. Thank you for watching and staying informed during this critical time. Please remain safe, stay updated through reliable sources, and take necessary precautions if you are in affected areas. We will bring further updates as soon as more confirmed details become available.